the newer generation.
You had mentioned a very interesting thing about being a first generation lawyer and a second generation lawyer. So I'm a first generation lawyer, and I had my own challenges. So when I used to see sons of lawyers and judges, going around in big cars, and I had my own old rickety Maruti 800, I used to feel bad that whether they were not doing the kind of work that I was doing, but still they were in those big cars. And because of that, I felt that if I had been also the advantage of being a second generation lawyer, probably I would also be in that privileged position. But when I look back, I realized that probably I was in a better position, and I'm sure I'll invite your comments on that as well. Because whatever I achieved, I could really feel that it is my own and it's my struggle. I didn't have any backing. And as second generation lawyers, I felt, and that is why I didn't make you work with me, was that I realized that you are also having your very different challenges. And the different challenge is that there is, whatever you do, people will attribute it to me. Even if you're doing great work on your own, people will attribute it to me, which is very sad. So in that sense, you have to make your own mark. You have to also struggle yourself. You have to create your own name. And that is one reason also which I felt that you should be doing work independently and making your own mark. So I would like to know your views on being a second generation lawyer vis-a-vis a first generation lawyer.
So I think my personal view is that being a second generation lawyer undoubtedly is helpful. I think anybody who says that being a second generation lawyer is only pain and there is no gain is clearly not being honest. It is helpful in the sense that there is an identity attached to you the moment you walk into a room. So this identity could mean a person will look at you very differently when you go and meet a client, because they are inquisitive that how would you behave. So they have an interest in you because you are the second. They think that this is a junior version of the man that they have seen and they like or they adore. So that inquisitiveness is always there. That may also happen when you are arguing a matter in court. If a judge, I would like to believe the judges also would sometimes get to know that this gentleman is actually so and so's son. So they are a little more inquisitive. So that's the benefit. Of course, I can't say that the benefit doesn't exist, but with that also comes the as you rightly pointed out, there is a challenge also attached to it, that you're always being compared. So I remember I had when I had my first job, I was working in a law firm. That comparison was very apparent because they would invariably talk about your father, how he argued, how he behaved, and then of course we used to brief you. So that comparison was inherent, at least amongst the peers. Maybe my seniors, my boss, Mr. Kapoor, he would not do so anything like that. But amongst the peers, the comparison was real. It also happened when I was leaving my job and going independent. That people were saying that look, whether he'll succeed or not succeed, or success of course is relative. I don't think one can brand themselves as successful on their own. It's for people to judge, but there were questions about it. I felt that the moment, because at least in my case, because my name doesn't say Singh, so that I was, that identity
a lot of people have blamed me for that you never told me.
My identity in a company with a stranger was not, as your son, unless he knew you very well. So then in my own little world that I was, and I was doing my own work, I didn't really care too much about what people thought of what I was doing or whether I was doing great or poor, or I don't think you need a certification from anybody in life but yourself. So I went on doing my things, and therefore but I did realize that whenever a conversation did come up about you or about me being your son, it was always seen in a very positive sense. So I really, as a second generation, you do have this benefit which you would not have if you are completely an outsider starting up on your own. But again, I guess it's only helpful to an extent that people are inquisitive in you. But largely, I think, I'm speaking for myself, and I'm sure Varun would also have a similar point of view, that what you do with that inquisitiveness or that likeness about you is really up to you. If you are meritorious or if you're willing to put in the hard yards, then clients would want to work with you, or people would want to work.
Before I come to you, Varun, the point that actually what I was wanting to make was that as a second generation lawyer, you get quite a lot on a platter.
Yeah.
And then if you don't respect it, or if you take it for granted,
then it goes away.
And if you feel that, this is your entitlement in this profession, that's the time when there is a possibility for you to go wrong. But if you feel that this is just an additional advantage to me, but I still have to do my own hard work.
Hard yards.
I think that's the right way forward. What Varun, on this?
Yeah, so before I answer the very serious question, I want to give you a very small, funny answer to what second generation and different names bring to me also. So as we all know, we are Biharis. My name is Varun Singh. His name is Sri Venkatesh. So in school, everybody was like, your brother's name is South Indian. Your name is Punjabi. How on earth are you Bihari? So
Identity crisis.
credit goes to both of you to make that happen. But of course, barring that challenge, I don't think there was much. But I think this question actually made even more sense to me, in the sense that not only when I started the profession, not only was I just a second generation lawyer to a very successful lawyer, but also a brother to a very successful lawyer as well. So I had the pressure of
Double challenge.
I had a double challenge of a second generation lawyer plus a sibling doing really well. And I think, which large part, because both of you are excellent at your work, so you probably don't see it from that light. But I think the one part of the facet is for a second generation, and I think where people struggle to cope up with it, is where if you are who you come with this kind of surrounding, if you're not comfortable, or if you haven't really figured out a way to how to go about your line of work, right? You may be doing the best you think in your capacity, but if it's not the same, if you feel that you're not the same wavelength as maybe some of your the people around you, then you will have it even tougher, and that could be even more suffocating. And so I think being comfortable in your skin and being able to do that, yes, you can do
Independent work.
independent, and be able to have that belief that no matter what you'll do your best foot forward. I think that's a good starting point. And as you slowly build your confidence, as you slowly get better at what you're doing, you ought to just see everything around you as a great blessing. I mean,
So I'll clear this name business first. So in our times, our children's name were decided by my mother decided your name. So really, I didn't have a choice. You were
A
born.
lot of people have asked me that question. Why are you Venkatesh?
You were
Why are
born
you
about
Shri?
9 months after Minu had gone with my parents to Lord Venkatesh. So my mother said that he's a gift of Lord Venkatesh. So that's how your name came to be Venkatesh. And
So it was not very late, only 1.5 years after the marriage.
Okay.
And,
So you
Varun was, of course, there was no such pressure on Varun. So Varun was Varun Singh.
Varun Singh, I gave this name.
And Varun Singh was, Minu decided Varun Singh's name.